Hi guys, and welcome to Lizzie Dean Makes. I'm Lizzie Dean, and this is the channel where we make, mend and grow our way to a big life on a small budget. Hi guys, welcome back. So today I am just going to do a bit of a rundown on how I found the grocery shopping this week and some of the other things that we've thought of on the zero waste side of things in the past couple of days. It's all happening at the moment before I go back to work next week. So I'm on holiday at the moment and we're trying to cram as much of this thinking in as possible before I go back to work. I'm a complete hot mess at the moment health wise, and I'm having these brainstem migraine things all the time, so I can't talk properly, can't wake up properly, can't walk properly. Just a bit of a mess, so just ignore me. So I went to B&M yesterday when Charlie was in the groomers, and I found a lot of really cool big glass jars for food storage. So I know what you're all thinking. You're thinking, why are you buying new glass jars? Why didn't you just reuse ones from things you already buy? I've been doing that for years, and if you've watched any of my videos you'll know that in October I gave away all my glass jars to my friend who was getting married for her table centres, and then in December I used up all my glass jars making jams and chutneys and bath salts and sugar scrubs and things for Christmas hampers. So all of my glass jars have gone, and we don't actually buy that much stuff in glass jars because we make most things from scratch. We've been having a whole food plant-based diet for years, and yeah, we don't actually get that much stuff in glass jars. We'll probably be getting more stuff in glass jars because we'll be switching out things that we used to buy in other packaging, but we still don't have that many glass jars. But I also got an email yesterday from Michael from the West Oxford Food Co-op, who wrote to tell me that I can place my food orders with them at the end of January for a bulk package free delivery from Infinity Foods in Brighton. So I will let you know more about that when it happens, but in the meantime I have bought the largest bag of red lentils I could find. Instead of buying red lentils and green split peas and yellow split peas and all the other things, I've just bought red lentils. So there's only one plastic bag, and I bought a kilo, which was the biggest I could find. So that's going to see us through until we get the order at the end of January. So I bought a load of glass jars from B&M. They had a massive array and they were really cheap. So this huge jar, which is like the size of my head, and it has these really pretty stick out hearts in the glass and a nice pink screw on lid. That was $2.99, so you know, they're a real bargain. These ones, which are about I think 500 millilitres, were $1.99, and these ones, which are 275 millilitres, were £1. So yeah, they were really banging with the prices in B&M, and I was pleased with those. I've also found semolina flour and 00 flour. Semolina flour is a bit harder to track down, so they do have it in Tesco's and do have it in Waitrose, but both of them, they have it in plastic, and neither of them have it with the flour. It's with the rice or the rice pudding. So even though it's made of Durham wheat, not rice, it's with rice. I think because it gets used in like rice pudding recipes. But yeah, that's a bit tricky to track down, but my health food shop in Whitney sell it in paper bags, and a lot of the supermarkets sell the 00 flour in paper bags. So I made a whole bunch of my own pasta, which I am keeping in cake tins. I've got quite a lot of cake tins, so that seemed like a sensible option for storage as well. I also picked up some of these bottles of coffee syrup. They were £3 each, and I thought even though there's sugar, and I don't really want to be having too much sugar in my coffees because I drink coffee all day. And if I'm drinking cordial all day as well, that's just a sugar overdose. Until I can find a better option for the sweetener. I mean, I've got plenty of sweetener because I bulk bought it from Aldi months ago, so I've got lots of them, but they're all in those plastic dispenser jiggies, and in plastic wrap on top of that, on a cardboard backing, so it's not sustainable for the future. I need to find an alternative, and they do stevia drops in my local health food shop that are cheaper than the ones online, so I might go down that route. But otherwise I thought these would be nice, and I like them anyway. I also picked up some big dishcloths in Tesco's because they had them without plastic wrapping, so these are just rolled with a paper recyclable sheet on. I also bought a bunch of chocolates that are just in paper and foil packaging. So most of the time now they've stopped selling milk chocolate in paper and foil packaging and switched it up for plastic wrapped, but you can always buy dark chocolate wrapped like that, but I managed to find a bunch of milk chocolates. That was interesting and slightly creepy. But I have managed to find a bunch of milk chocolates that are wrapped that way, which is the Lindt ones and also the Galaxy ones, so I've got a bunch of those down there. I also went to the sweet shop in Burford, and inside here you can see I've got lots of paper bags full of sweets. So they sell sweets by weight, and the woman in there was really lovely, and they're quite reasonable on the price for their pick a mix. They sell them from the big glass jars in the shop. It's a proper old school sweet shop, so that was fun. And we've got some chocolates there as well, chocolate drops for cooking with. I also, when I was in B&M, found Dow Egbert's coffee, and it's instant coffee. Ka-ching! I love instant coffee. I prefer it to real coffee because I'm a heathen. And it's in glass jars with glass lids, and they're actually really nice jars as well, so we will definitely be able to reuse them. And they were £5 each for big 190 grams of instant coffee. So I was quite pleased with that, so I bought 2 to keep us going for a while. On the subject of tea and coffee, I thought I would show you some of my tea things that I already had that go with the zero waste, and also some things that I got for James yesterday. So this was recommended to me by a guy that I work with called Adam, who has one, and it is a Jing tiare, so like a cafetiere but with tea. So it's TEA-IERE, and it's by a company called Jing Tea, and it is great. You just literally put a spoonful of loose tea in, fill it with boiling water, pop the little filter on, let it brew, and then pour it out into your mug, and the filter stops the loose tea from coming with it. And then it's really easy to just empty out into your compost and rinse this off in the sink and go for your next cup of tea. So I used to use this all the time at work. I then brought it home because I was obviously off ill for a long time, and this is what I used at home, and it's from Whittards of Chelsea, the big tea company. If you're not from Britain, I don't know if you have Whittards, but Whittards of Chelsea is like all over the UK, and they do a lot of loose tea and loose coffee that I'll talk about in a second. But the new name for these seems to be PAO, P-A-O, and when I got it, it was called a Sump for Life teapot or something like that, and I think the new one might be a slightly different design. And this mug is what I got yesterday, and this is a PAO, P-A-O mug, and it has the tea strainer that you can sort of sit into the mug, and then the lid. So you just pop your loose leaf tea in the tea strainer, pour the water in and pop the lid on, let it brew, and then you can take the bits out, and you can use this as a little dish to hold that on the table until you can get back to your compost, tuck it in, rinse it out and use it again. So this is for my husband because he drinks tea all the time, black tea, you know, tea. I normally drink rooibos or fruit teas, not caffeinated tea, usually because I've had far too much coffee. I usually get my rooibos and loose leaf teas from the Bluebird Tea Company, which is based in Brighton, and they do tea in tins. They do also do it in like paper sealable grab bags, but I think the tin option is better. And this is their hot cross bun tea that they do for Easter, and it smells amazing and it tastes just like a cup of tea and a hot cross bun at the same time. It's just awesome. I love it. It's really one of my favourite teas, along with the Whittard's mulled wine fruit tea, which is really nice as well. This is what I picked up for James. So this is Whittard's English breakfast tea, and they will sell you the tin, and then you can get it filled up by the shop assistant from their bulk bins. So they have huge tins, the same design as this, but huge ones, of loose leaf tea at the back of the shop, and they also have huge tins of coffee beans, and you can buy a tin like this that you can take in, and they'll refill it with either coffee beans or they'll grind the coffee beans for you. So they will only fill Whittard's tins. You can't take a different type of container in, but you can take these containers back and refill them an unlimited amount of times with loose leaf tea from Whittard's, or with ground coffee, or just coffee beans for doing your own coffee. So we've got a coffee machine like the ones you get in the coffee shop, with the little saucer shaped thing that you whack in the top to filter your coffee through, and that's fine if you want to go to all that faff. And when James does it, he enjoys doing that. When people like my mum and dad come to visit, they will always have real coffees, not instant coffee, but me personally, I do love my instant coffee. So I also thought I'd show you this, which I've had for years. I made this when I was about 14, just before I left home, and it is a tea caddy. So it was a wooden box from somewhere like Hobbycraft. I don't know if Hobbycraft was even a thing then, I don't know where I got it, but I lined each of the little sections with some paper and filled them with loose leaf tea. So I had Assam and Darjeeling and Earl Grey, and I bent a little teaspoon to fit in it, and then afterwards my mum and dad laughed at me and thought I was a heroin addict because I had a bent teaspoon in my tea caddy, and apparently that's something that heroin addicts do. I don't know, but yeah, that was a source of much amusement, the fact that I bent a teaspoon to fit in my box. Who knows. So I then thought about the dog and what we're going to do about the dog. So these are biodegradable dog poop bags, on the roll, which is what we like because we've got a little dispenser thing that goes on the lead, and they have cardboard inner tubes instead of plastic. So normally you get them and they're plastic bags on a plastic inner roll, and you slot them into the little bit in your dispenser mechanism. They've got a cardboard outer, a cardboard inner tube, and the actual bags themselves are biodegradable. So I'm quite happy with those. They are a bit more expensive than the plastic ones, but I think it's worth it. The other thing I did was looked for dog treats. So this massive bag, which is 700 grams of dog treats, it was 2 for £5 from B&M. They're £2.99 each, and I think that's an absolute bargain. But they're also the biggest bags of dog treats that I've seen. I went to Pets at Home, I went to Pets Hut, I went to the pet section in all the like main supermarkets, because I shop in different supermarkets every day. I never go to the same one twice. I normally shop in Aldi at the moment, but I do like to pop into all the others because each one has different things and I like to mix it up a bit. So this was the biggest bag I've seen anywhere, and it's also just the kind of treats that Charlie likes. He really likes the Bassett's All Sorts. It's that sort of consistency, and he really likes the meaty ones. So I bought these because even though it is a plastic unrecyclable bag, it's only one versus all the plastic bags that we would normally get through, because normally they're like 50 to 100 grams. So one plastic bag, or between 7 and 14 plastic bags. So I think it's a good option. They do bulk bin dog biscuits, but Charlie doesn't really like dog biscuits. He won't eat them that much. So I might look into making our own, but for now this is a less plastic consumption option. I've made enough things this week. I think I'm going to make some more pasta, and then I'm going to just chill for a bit and see how we get on with things. I'm quite happy with the swaps that I found so far. I think it's got to be sustainable and we've got to be able to stick with it. So we're not getting rid of my husband's shampoo and conditioner because he uses a special one, and I can't find one like that in large containers. I have found Suma, S-U-M-A, which my aunt told me about, and they do big 5 litre like jugs of conditioner and shampoo, and they're about 23 to 30 pounds a thing. So I might go down that route. I mean, they're the kind of ones that you get in the big zero waste stores in America with the pump action tops on. They're the same like big containers, so I could just buy one of those. And if I were going to do that, I'd probably just buy conditioner and do co-washing, which is where you only wash with conditioner, you use it as a shampoo and a conditioner. I'm going to stick with the shampoo bar for at least another week, give it a chance, but I'm not getting on so well with the shampoo bars and the apple cider vinegar rinse. I mean, maybe I haven't tried it for long enough yet, but it's just really greasy and horrible. And I've tried the dry shampoo, but I mean, I'm not a cake. I've currently got oil and flour and cocoa powder and all sorts of things in my hair, and it's not nice. I'm not gonna lie, it's like having cake batter poured on your head. It's weird. I don't think this is normal. I don't think this is good. I don't want to do it. I want to clean my hair. Maybe I'm just doing it wrong, but no, it's not feeling good for me, so I think I am going to look for alternatives. I'm also going to pop into Lush and check out their options, because they recycle all their own packaging, and often they will fill your containers, refill containers. So I'll try it, or I might go down the route of bulk buying 5 litres of conditioner and just using that, and it will last me like a year for 20 quid. 22.95 I think is the one I've got earmarked on eBay. So that's it. I am going to go now and get some more vegetables and check out. I'm going to get some oats and various other things. We can get oats in big paper bags like this from Aldi, so that's what I'm going to get. And at some point I'm going to actually do the video on the freezer bags. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do it yet. I've got 8 little bags that I've sewn up from my calico, which is raw, semi-processed but unbleached and undyed cotton. It's really cheap, this stuff. And I've sewn up a bunch of little bags to use as freezer bags, but I want to turn them into oilcloth. So apparently the best oil to use is fractionated coconut oil, because the process of making it fractionated or fractionalized or whatever the word is takes away some of the components in it, which is why it then stays liquid and stays clear, and that makes it not go rancid. So it's got a really long shelf life. Fractionalized coconut oil, it doesn't go rancid, so that's supposed to be a really good thing to make food grade oilcloth with. Non-food grade, you do use things like boiled linseed oil, and you can get boiled linseed oil, but you can get it from B&Q and other hardware shops, and I don't think that's food grade. I'm not going to go down the hardware shop, get some wood preserving linseed oil and put it near my food. I don't think that sounds safe, so I'm not going to do that. But I haven't got very much fractionated coconut oil, and I don't know how I'm going to get it on all of them. I think I'd have to like put it in a flat tray and try and douse them all in it thoroughly. I don't know. I'm going to have a go at this later probably, but for now I have to go because I have an appointment to have my acrylics removed. It's really sad. I had them done for when I was Cinderella in the panto, and the lady did them with glitter in the pink bits, and it was such a treat to have them. Normally my nails are rubbish from gardening and crafting, and they're just awful, but I had lovely French tips for a whole month, but I can't really excuse going and having plastic painted on my hands when I'm trying to eliminate plastic. So I don't think I'll be able to get acrylics anymore, which makes me a bit sad, but oh well, it's worth it. So yeah, that's it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please remember to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button and the little bell icon if you would like to be notified every time I upload more UK zero waste stuff at the moment, but otherwise I do basically frugal small space living how-tos and tutorial videos and stuff like this. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.